Welcome to the Northland. So today's video, we're going to cover the Jury. We've already done some modifications, but I'm not going to get into that today. We're just going to cover what I really like about the Bronco. I think in the next video, I'll just put in what I think Ford could have done better, because there are some things that I wouldn't necessarily say they're complaints, but some things that just seem like, I don't even want to say shortcut. It's just things that they could have done better. So, all right, let's get started. All right, so we pulled the Jury into the garage. It was a little chilly this morning, so I just thought it'd be a little bit more comfortable in here. And I had already videoed this, but I wasn't happy with the way it turned out, so I'm going to redo it. So, all right, let's begin. So starting with the front outside. Now this has been, I've got this PPF'd already, and paint protection, not ceramic coat, because I want to run it through the car wash and I don't want to have to do it myself. I like these tie downs / aiming points. As I understand it, these, one on each side, mark the inside of the front tire. So when you're off-road, that's kind of your, that's why they're called aiming points. So the front, I like the headlights are nice. They're so bright. And I suppose for oncoming traffic or people who are in front of you, they're probably not real happy. But as for driving goes, it's nice to be able to see everything. I like the tow hook. Now the shackles I added myself, but it comes with these hard points to hook these shackles to. I think that's a nice touch. Makes them easy to get to, and it's just, it's better than, on a truck, or at least my truck anyway. The points are kind of underneath the bumper, so you got to bend down more, and I don't know. I just like these better. Plus, I think they look a lot better. This front camera is awesome. Now, when we go inside, I'll show you the view from the screen, but it is so clear and nice. I really like it. The other thing, now this is a modular, maybe not modular, heavy-duty steel bumper. I believe this cost extra, and so I thought, if I put a winch on it, and now that I'm thinking, I probably won't put a winch on it, because if you do, you lose your front camera, or you don't get the view anyway that you would normally get. I like I don't know if it's going to show. Let me see if I get a light. So I like the skid plates underneath. I haven't changed the oil on it yet. Haven't even been under it. I imagine that's going to make things a little more difficult. But, there's trade-offs, right? And, yes, they are steel. All right. Let's move on to the sides. The other thing I really like are these accessory-ready. There's points on the vehicle itself. You got some here. You have some underneath the covers up there. You have points here, obviously all along the bumper there's points, and I think there's a few in the back too, but I'm gonna pan out a little bit here. Oops, wrong way. So this is the first time in my life that I have ever paid for a premium color. This color cost me extra. I believe it's called Hot Pepper Red, and I like red, obviously. It's all over my garage. But I also was tired of seeing gray and silver and black. So I thought this was a bit, different. I have not yet seen one this color on the road. Obviously, there are several, in places, but I have not yet seen one. So I've gotten a lot of compliments on it, which I really like. Not the compliments, but I like the color. And it almost changes. I think it's because of the clear coat. Like in the sun, it looks almost like a burnt orange, and under clouds or at night, it almost looks like a dark red. It's pretty cool. I like these things. There's a light here, light on the other mirror, obviously the headlights, and then the backup lights, which I'll cover the back in a minute, but the back lights here for zone lighting, which I'll show you inside the vehicle. I like the beadlock capable wheels. I'm just not sure I like the wheels themselves. I might end up finding a nice pair of fuel wheels or something that I can put on. We'll see. I don't know. The jury is still out on that. Yes, it's a Wildtrak. I like now I got these for my wife because she has a hard time getting in things that are a little higher. She has short legs, which didn't help her as much as I was hoping they would. But these are removable. They come with separate plugs that you can plug the holes with if you take them off, and so on. I like the remote lock, and I like the keyless entry. You know, for times like, you know, you're out, truck's in the driveway, you need to get into it for something, and the keys are in the house, right? So I have a code. Wife has a code. You can get in without the key. I like the modular, I want to call it modular, roof. Obviously, the panel comes off on the driver's side, one on the passenger side. This one comes off, and you can remove this whole top piece. Going completely topless. So I like that. I did get the soft top with it. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it yet because I don't like the way the back opens. But again, I don't know and won't know until spring. I'll put it on and use it for a little while just to see if I like it. And if I don't, I'll put the hard top back on. But I'll give it a shot. I like the fact that the doors come off. You know, the only other vehicle that you can do that with, right, is a Jeep. And if I'm wrong, go ahead and correct me below, but that's the only one, at least, that comes to my mind. Let me show you something else. Oh, there's the headlights on. Now, here's another thing I like. Oops. Those Fox shocks. Those are amazing. Now, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure those are the same things that are put on the Raptor. And this thing, I tell you, will eat up bumps like they're candy. My big red ugly truck out there, there's some railroad tracks and I'm going to work. If I slow down to 40 miles an hour and take it with my big red truck, it almost feels like it wants to knock your fillings out. I can take those railroad tracks at 60 miles an hour, which is what the speed limit is there, and this thing will just glide over them like they don't even exist almost. So I really love the suspension on this thing. Okay, and I'll cover the back in a moment. I figured since I'm out here, I want to do the engine bay. One of the things that I really like also is, I don't know if I can show you on here and still. So over here, there's a bunch of wires. I'll zoom in a minute, but this is where all the wires for the auxiliary switches are for connecting things like lights, which we'll cover in the future here. But right here, there's a bundle of wires that you got to look up in the manual to see which colors for where. They offer, there's one over on the side of the windshield, top side of the windshield over there. There's one in the very back top. And then there's this one here, this purple one for mounting front accessories, winch, lights, whatever. Battery, easy to get to, easy to maintain. Fuse boxes, easy to get to and maintain. Everything is easy to get to. I like it. Even the oil dipstick is, and the reason I make light of that is because the one on the Judge, if you got meaty hands, good luck trying to get that dipstick out without burning yourself if it's a hot engine, because they got it way down there. So I like that. And I like also the fact that there isn't a USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier size piece of plastic that goes over this engine. You know, half the time you have to remove it anyway in order to do something on the engine. So, you know, and I don't think it improves the looks anyway, so why even put it on there? I like that the air intake is high up, increasing your water fordability. Is that a word? Well, it is now. So, so I like that. This is my, if I can get it off with one hand, my frost plug heater. So it's kind of cool that it's up and out of the way and will be kept clean. I don't know. I don't know what else to say under the hood. I mean, it's an engine. This is a 2.7 liter turbo, single turbo, which, I mean, I have got no problems with, no complaints with so far, and we got just over 2,000 miles on it now. I've heard there's some cam phaser issues with the 2.7s, and some other issues, some noises and things like that, that I have not experienced any yet, but again, there's not very many miles on it, so we'll see. If you have a Bronco or have heard of other people with Broncos that have issues, comment below, let me know what they are, so I'll kind of have an idea of what to look for or listen for. All right, let's move on. All right, one more thing for us to quickly cover, the back, of course. I like the tow hook here, and I like the trailer receptacles. I think that's, you know, that's much better than how it is on my red truck. For example, we go over here, I'll show you this one. This is, you know, it's just, yeah. I mean, it's almost like that was put on as an afterthought. This obviously is just much better designed, I think. Full-size spare, of course, and we open the back. They make all kinds of accessories like tables, and in fact it even says accessory ready. They make a mole system you can put on here. Excuse the noise in the back, they're chipping in the park or something. The net did not come with this, that's an add-on. But again, we have a nice cover here. There's a, underneath this cover here is a little compartment, like a hidden thing. We have like my trailer hitches in there, and you know, some other things. So I really like that hidden kind of compartment. And we got, you know, I mean, this is this is kind of cool. This is a slot for this plug. So when you disconnect this, which is for like the windshield wash or whatever, stick the plug in there. That way it's protected and doesn't get beat up. Yeah, I got a little pocket here, 12 volt receptacle there, light in the back, obviously heated glass or whatever, defrost glass, and rear wiper and window wash. So not a whole lot in the back, but it's you know, there's just enough space here, I think, for we just took a kind of a semi-long trip with it. You know, didn't put a whole lot in here, but it's, you know, it's enough space for what you might need for, you know, a weekend, or, you know, a couple suitcases or whatever. But you know, that's just my survival type junk and vehicle extraction stuff. You know, another tow shackle here. We have jumper cables and all kinds of stuff in here. So, all right, let's move on. And now for the back. We have the, sorry, I got my light on here so we can see what we're doing. We got window controls here for both sides. We have video, audio, whatever, like for your phone and all that, charging port. And we have regular AC on that side. Seats are nice. I added this. So again, that's a modification, but this is a waterproof, whatever kind of a thing. So when the dog gets in here, he doesn't get my seats all yucky and gross. So we have pockets in the doors. I do wish they were hard pockets though, and not the mesh, but again, we'll cover that in future updates. We got pockets behind the seats, both sides. What else to tell you? There's really not much else in the back. There's a arm under here. There's an armrest, cup holder, that kind of a thing. I'm not going to take it out. Anyway, I mean, you've seen those plenty, right? Now, let's go to the front. Now again, with the front, same thing. Pockets here, door locks. Seats are nice and comfortable. I don't know if this is leather or marine grade vinyl or what this is, but they're comfortable. I like them. Heated, of course. Steering wheel's heated. I like the steering wheel. It's nice and comfy. Of course, I added the cover, but down here we got our automatic lights. If you want automatic lights, I guess. High beams and low beams, all auto. These are for the lights on the mirrors, if you want to turn those on separately, and this is your dimmer and brightness switch for the accent lighting in the footwells and your instrument cluster. Again, your window controls and window locks, stuff right here, and on the other side over there is for the mirror. I like the fact that the armrest locks. I've never had a locking armrest before, not that it's a huge deal, but it's nice that I can put something in there, and if I want to keep it away from prying eyes, I can lock it. Same with the glove box, both lock. I'll get in here and cover more in a little bit. I don't, one thing I don't understand, if somebody knows, go ahead and comment below, let me know. I find it odd that they put the window switches here. I still go here and look, oh, where the heck are they? And then I remember, oh yeah, they're over there. Every other vehicle, they're on the door panel, right? So I don't get it. At first I thought, well, maybe it's because you take the doors off, but what do you need window controls for if the doors aren't on anyway? I still think the window controls ought to be on the door. It's just kind of seems like a goofy place to put them. All right. Okay, so once inside the vehicle, obviously we have our info screen here. I like it and I don't like it. I like that it has the typical or traditional dial on the left and the digital readout kind of there in the center. I almost wish maybe it was reversed though. I don't know. I find myself hardly looking at the traditional dial, although I do like the way that looks better. But anyway, it is what it is. On the right we have things like fuel economy. We can skip down. It'll show us, I might zoom in a little bit here so you can see it better. So we have off-road, and this is, you can set these up into, it's called My View, so you can put different things in here if you want. Tire pressure, they all look a little high, but I just got done driving it, so it's warm. We have our gauges, so we have, that's boost at the top. It looks like coolant there in the center, and I think that's the transmission there towards the bottom, and then obviously battery voltage. There's just turbo boost if you want to monitor that. We have oil temperature and transmission temperature. And then the next one would be to configure how you want to set it up. So that's kind of cool. Then we have our GOAT modes right here. So if we flip that on, we have different screens. This is for Eco. And that will basically reduces your power and takes a little bit better advantage of your auto start stop. Next up is sport mode. I have yet to use that, although it seems kind of cool. I think it might be better suited for like off-road, however, but we'll have to see. Next up we have slippery. I've used that a couple of times when we've had frosty some light snow. We had some freezing rain. It works well, puts it in 4 auto. And I can tell you, it sure makes you feel a lot more confident driving. Next up, we have mud and ruts. Now, this is kind of cool. When you switch it onto that, you get this. I'll probably have to start it here. You have the tire tracks. It shows you the front tire tracks. As I turn the steering wheel, it shows you where your tire tracks are. So that, you know, if you're trying to avoid certain things or run a certain course, it helps you do that. Let's bring our screens back up here. Got to get back to mud and ruts. Next, we have the sand. And again, you'll have the same thing on the screen. It shows you that's using the front camera. I don't even know if I'll ever use that one, but and then we have Baja. And that's same thing with the screen there. And it does different things with the 4-wheel drive system, like so this is, it just shows 4 high, but if we go back to sand, you'll see it locks in. There it is, locks in the rear end. If we go to mud and ruts, it should do the same thing. Locks in the rear end. Now up here we got, if you want, you can do lock your front end, lock the rear end. I can't remember what this one's for. I'm going to have to research that one. Obviously, traction control and hazards. I would have died. Some of you know that I used to live in Alaska. I would have died to have this thing in Alaska, man. This thing would be so much fun. So, you know, you can also use these. You can press the buttons if you want to, you know, just bypass the different screens. The center one is, as I understand it, one-touch pedal control. I'm not sure if that's the exact term for it, but that will allow you to use just the gas pedal. As you hit the gas, you're going to accelerate. You let off the gas, it automatically starts slowing down. So that's kind of cool. Again, that would have been a nice feature to have in Alaska when we were hunting and stuff. But this button here is for the front camera. We turn it on. Now I've shifted out of 4-wheel drive, so it doesn't show the tire tracks anymore, but we have our front camera, and then this is our 360-degree view. It's good for parking and stuff like that. Auto start stop, you know, some people have a like-hate relationship with that. I used to just think they were terrible, it was stupid. But in this, I like it. I would not like it in my Mustang, but I like it in this. One thing I don't like doing is sitting at a stoplight, especially a long stoplight, and wasting gas as I'm idling. Not a fan. This one shuts off the sensors around the Bronco so that, you know, if you're close to certain things or whatever, maybe if you put on, say, a winch, or maybe you're on the trail and it's close, you know, you got trees close to you and stuff, your sensors won't be going bonkers. And then obviously all the stuff on the bottom, heated steering wheel, heated seats, both sides. We have dual temperature controls, push button start, obviously. Steering wheel, I like the steering wheel. Let me see if we back out a little bit here. Obviously that's hang up the phone. We got our speak button so we can have the jury look for, you know, I can wake it up. There's a certain term to use. I can have it search for gas stations. It'll even give me the gas prices at each gas station. It's really cool. This is a menu button. Let's see, we'll bring up the menu. We have different navigation, phone, audio, my view, trip fuel, and so on. Obviously these toggle between things. This is for the adaptive cruise control. So those of you who are familiar with that, I probably don't need to explain it, but those of you who don't, you set your cruise control speed, and the Bronco will keep its distance to the car in front of it. The car in front slows down, will slow down. It speeds up, will speed up to your set speed limit, speed that you've set on your cruise, which is really cool. The only thing is it has a tendency sometimes to, lull you to, I don't want to say sleep. That's not the right word, but, you'll be sitting there driving behind some guy and he'll be doing 50 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden you're looking, you've been doing 50 for the last 5 miles because you're used to it. Obviously this is cruise control, set and cancel, volume buttons. This is to set your lane keeping if you want to use that. I don't know what else to, let's see, let's shut this off once. There's so many goodies on here. I mean, I could be here all day talking to you about what's available and what isn't. Here's our auxiliary switches. I am a big fan of these. This makes setting up things like my lights, winches, anything like that, so much easier because you don't have to mount a switch. You don't have to drill holes. Everything's done for you. It makes it so much easier. We have these little lights here are for our ambient light, and then obviously your map lights and stuff there. Mirror is auto dimming. And then I don't remember if I covered this already or not, but we have our latches to remove panels. So that's kind of cool. I like that. I can't wait to use it in the summertime. Yeah, I don't know. We have a cordless charging pad down here. We also have our USB outlets and stuff there. We have USB outlets up here. This is for more accessories, like you could mount maybe a GoPro or something like that there. I don't know what else to cover here. So as I said, if there's something I did not cover that you would like me to go into more depth on, let me know, and I will certainly do that. The one thing that some models are a little bit different, like this one, this is the Wildtrak, so we have mud ruts and that all that other stuff I showed you. I think if you have the now don't quote me on this, but I think the Badlands, and there might be another one or two in there, instead of the mud and ruts, I think they have a rock crawl feature. And I know up top where I showed you the locking front and rear ends, I think there's a sway bar disconnect or something like that. I think, that button, that when I said I didn't know what it was, I think that's for tighter turning control or something for on the trail. I don't know exactly how it works yet. Again, this is still all fairly new to me, and I'm still playing around with things, trying to learn it. So, yeah, obviously we have a tilt steering wheel, and I don't know, it's cool. I like it. So, again, like I said, if there's something I'm not covering that you have questions about, go ahead, comment below, let me know. Real quick, this was one other thing I wanted to show you guys. This is now a different screen. This is for off-road. Now, I showed you kind of that before, where it shows you your axles, shows you where the power is going. But if we go down a screen, this will show you pitch and roll, which is kind of cool. We have power distribution, so it shows you, the power going to which wheels. We saw tire pressure before, gauges we saw before, boost, oil temp. Okay, so I guess it's just those couple of things that are a little bit different. But again, you can go into your menu here and you can do different things. So we go to my view, and that's how I had it set up. So it's kind of cool. We have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And like I said, all kinds of navigation stuff that you can search for. And like I said, gas stations, it'll show you fuel prices and everything. It's just weird. The amount of stuff that this thing does is crazy. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. I know I ran long, and I apologize. I tend to get a little long-winded sometimes. So in the interest of keeping this as short as possible, I won't ramble on any longer. I guarantee you the next one will be shorter. So go ahead and tickle that like button if you would. I'd really appreciate it. Tap the little bell at the bottom after you hit subscribe. I really would appreciate the subscribe. And make sure you share it with your grandma and grandpa and, I don't know, maybe your mom and dad even. All right. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.